Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. I'm Kevin, Kevin, and we have some important information to discuss. Before we begin, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like these that help you get better prepared. Now let's dive right in. Kentucky flooding resulted in hundreds losing their homes. This is being labeled by some as the most significant and potentially deadly flood that Kentucky has seen in a very long time. Heavy overnight rains caused untold damage and forced many residents to the roofs of their swamped homes in hopes of being rescued. Hundreds are at risk and will lose their homes. And I guess we should expect to see half-price houses as some predicted in other scenarios unrelated to this weather event. And this is going to be yet another event where it's going to take not months, but likely years for many families to rebuild and recover. While parts of the western United States are experiencing severe and extreme drought, portions of eastern Kentucky received more than 8 inches of rain from Wednesday into Thursday morning, overwhelming creeks, streams, and ground already saturated from previous rain. The National Weather Service said flood and flash flood warnings are in effect for portions of eastern Kentucky into Thursday afternoon. More than 24,000 residents are without power, with more outages remaining to be reported in Kentucky. Water services have been interrupted in parts of eastern Kentucky because of pipes bursting and forcing the systems to be shut down for repair. Truckloads of water were being sent to the region, but with flooded roadways and emergency services underway, it is unclear how long before these relief efforts reach the people who are in need. 3 state parks are reportedly expected to be available to shelter people who lost their homes, but those in need who have been displaced by these damaging and fatal flood waters will surely overwhelm the park's space and available resources. This is what prepping for SHTF is all about. SHTF can be anything. Now, you have to understand that in this particular situation, this is a very unfortunate event, and my condolences to the families who have lost loved ones as a result of this natural disaster occurrence. But this is what prepping for SHTF is all about. It doesn't necessarily have to be an EMP strike. It doesn't have to be an attack to our food source. It doesn't have to be the crashing of our economy and our currency and the US dollar and cryptocurrency markets and Bitcoin and Coinbase and Celsius wallets going down. SHTF can be anything. Anyone who's experienced any form of displacement or hardship to the greatest extent, or you thought you couldn't recover from, you've experienced SHTF, and that's what prepping is all about. SHTF can be anything. And, there have been some real estate experts who expected to see some half-price homes hitting the market as a result of the inflation, and the economy, the labor crisis, mass layoffs, people's incomes being affected. But I would say that you could probably expect to see some half-price houses hitting the market as a result of tremendous flood damage and insurance companies just writing these properties off and selling them for pretty much next to nothing and allowing people the opportunity to come in and buy these up for half price or less and put in the work and invest into these properties as required to get them back up to a state of which they can be occupied, certificate of occupancy received. But at the same time, for those who are being displaced, it's going to take a little while for emergency rescue efforts to actually take effect. It's going to take a little while for your insurance companies. Hopefully you have insurance coverage. Hopefully, if you have insurance coverage, it's going to take a little while for their teams, because they're probably overwhelmed and understaffed, to send adjusters out to process claims, and before they could even think about providing you with any temporary living assistance, which at the same time, real estate and housing is still a crisis. So where are all these people going to go, as it is already difficult as it is now for people to find homes and places to homes to buy and apartments to rent? So this is what we talk about, preparing for SHTF. And there were warnings, there were weather broadcasts, and there were warnings that the rain was coming and there was a potential flooding. Now, some Some did heed the warning, and they left the area so they wouldn't be subject to possible life-threatening results of these storms and these heavy rains and these floodings. But others didn't, and or others couldn't. And this is what prepping is all about: having heeding the warnings, seeing the signals, watching for the key indicators, and taking action to protect you and your family foremost. Beyond that, you can protect your assets, but those should be protected in other ways. Nothing of extreme value should have been lost in a flood that couldn't be replaced for actual cash value by the insurance company after a claim, which you should always have insurance. This is, it's one of those things, better to have it not need it than need it and not have it. Anyone who's been affected by these heavy floods and total loss scenarios as a result of heavy rains in Kentucky, if you don't have insurance, and you're kind of up the creek. So this is what I'm talking about when I say preparing. It's not just food. It's not just stockpiling beans and dry goods and dehydrated food. Preparing for SHTF is going to be on so many levels. And if you're in a position right now where you don't have the funds, you don't have a backup plan, you don't have the credit, you don't have anything to fall back on and hold you over in the meantime until your insurance company picks up the pieces, then we need to have a discussion, because that should never be the case. You should always have an emergency fund of available liquid assets that you can utilize in a situation quite like this. You should always have available credit. You should always have resources and a plan B and a plan C just in case SHTF occurs, which we have seen here. Now, I'll continue to monitor the situation, bring you guys any updates on it as they come about. If you are in Kentucky or you have any relatives in Kentucky, please comment below and let us know the severity of the situation, and also let us know the relief efforts that are being put in place to help these people. I'm not sure if the Biden administration will step in and provide any assistance as a result. Typically, these natural disasters and FEMA will step in. The National Guard perhaps possibly will come in, which is, we like that. We do appreciate that. Much rather see the National Guard and the government step in to help in a situation like this than them to take over a private market like the railroad industry, which could be catastrophic for us all if we were to see a strike there and the government come in and take control or temporary control, essentially martial law. But for this situation, National Guard, FEMA, government assistance, we're definitely looking forward to that to help these people as quickly as possible. Again, I'll bring you guys more updates on this and more as they come about. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on notifications. You guys have a great day. See you soon. Bye.